I have a family member who has gone through a hard marriage and brokenness. How do I support her?
No, you didn't mention whether the person is male or female. In Indian marriages, that is crucial and very, very critical. Okay. Now, if a man has married to a crazy woman, I've seen that. It happens. Now, when you say he has gone through a hard marriage, has it ended or is it not ended? Okay, you did that, mention that.
Yeah.
So
But
normally, I tell people to end it. I'm not necessarily talking about divorce, but I'm talking about separation. What I find that when separation takes place, the other party is kind of jolted. The other party kind of thinks that the marriage is eternal, so I can do what I want and get away with it. Moment the separation takes place, that stops. They start realizing that things are not like that. Divorce, most Christians kind of feel divorce is against the Bible. I don't. I agree that God doesn't like divorce, God doesn't want divorce, but if required, it may have to come to that. Okay. If the person is a female woman, I definitely endorse separation. There is no point a woman undergoing torment from a brutal husband. So I can recommend separation. Now, one of the arguments I use for separation is that if a person is brutalizing their spouse, man or woman, that person is not a Christian. So don't treat that person as a Christian. Treat that person as a non-Christian who has cheated the partner into marrying him or her by pretending to be a Christian. And so that marriage deserves to be torn apart. That's the way I look at it. Rest assured, majority of the church disagrees with me. Not our church, but if you look at the church around the world, they don't agree with that. But that's what I strongly feel. So I had a case in Hyderabad that I mentioned to some of you, where in a reunion party, be careful of reunions, in a reunion party, a guy met his old girlfriend who was there in the reunion and decided he's going with her. So he's having her as the second wife. Of course, she is married and has a husband anyway, but that is a different story. So I went to the house. I spoke to him. And he said, no, I want to be with that woman. I said, good. I'm glad you want to be with that woman. Now get out of this house. He looked a bit shocked. He said, this is my house. I said, no, this is not your house. You decided you want to be with that woman. That's your house. So get out. No, I said, yes, no, I'm not moving from here till you get out. So he left. He packed up a box and left. In a week, he was back with his tail between his legs. If now, the interesting thing is, the next day, after I chased him out of the house, the church elders came to the house. Said, what a stupid thing you've done. If you have chased him out, how will you get him back? You should have let him stay here. He'll come to his senses. I don't think he'll ever come to his senses till you create a separation. So that's the way I deal with it, which is fairly radical. You as a pastor would like to add something to that? You can contradict me. There's not an issue here.
Thanks for the freedom. There are two things you can do. If God has weaved you to be a part of an influence there, for example, friend or somebody, or you're caught in between, and then when suddenly this bursts, you're apart, you can find out the willingness of reconciliation for both of them. Sometimes they don't want to reconcile. So that's the foundation. You see the thirst. If they're willing to reconcile, then you can move along the path of accountability. The second one, they need to be accountable to do something, to take up the step. Separation may be one cause for one step towards reconciliation if they want to. The third one is when I talk about accountability, it's a systemic way to come back together. So they are not left alone and doing whatever they want to do. That could be a community of people coming in, counselors coming in to help, pastors coming in to help. Sometimes it's just families coming to restore, and it takes a long path. One of that path that God has blessed us with is the church. Sometimes the church doesn't see the weightage of how it is the family of families to be there. So that could be a good way to